My name is Caleb Rourke. I'm 27, born and raised in Western Pennsylvania, and for most of my adult life, I've worked jobs that keep me alone. Night deliveries, long-haul driving, anything that lets me avoid people. Not because I hate them, but because silence has always felt safer to me. Predictable. What I'm about to tell you is the reason I no longer drive at night. It happened last October, on a stretch of road that cuts through the Allegheny National Forest. If you've ever been there, you know the kind of darkness I'm talking about. Not city darkness, not suburban dim. This is something heavier, like the trees themselves are swallowing the light whole. I had just finished a late delivery and decided to take the forest road instead of the highway. It was faster, and at that hour, just past midnight, there's almost no traffic. My headlights were the only thing carving a path through miles of black trees. No radio, no signal. Just the hum of the engine and the occasional crack of branches in the distance. About 20 minutes in, I saw them. At first, it looked like a shape on the road. I slowed down, squinting. Then my headlights caught it fully. A man lying face down on the asphalt. Another man was crouched beside him, hunched over, moving his arms in a frantic, jerky way. I hit the brakes. For a moment, I just sat there, hands gripping the wheel. Every instinct told me to keep driving. But the other part of me, the part that still believed in doing the right thing, won out. I pulled over. The engine stayed running as I stepped out. The cold hit me immediately, sharper than it had any right to be. My shoes crunched on gravel as I approached them. "Hey," I called out. "You need help?" The man crouching looked up at me. Even in the dim light, I could see his face was pale, almost gray. His eyes caught the headlights in a way that didn't look right, too reflective, like an animal's. "Thank God," he said, his voice shaky. "I think he's dead. I don't know what happened." I got closer, and that's when I saw the blood. The man on the ground wasn't just injured. He was soaked in it. It had pooled beneath him, dark and thick, spreading across the road. The smell hit me next. Metallic and raw. I froze. The crouching man lifted his hands slightly, like he didn't know what to do with them. That's when I noticed his fingers. They were covered in blood, but smeared deep into the lines of his skin. "I didn't do this," he said quickly, almost too quickly. "I found him like this. I was trying to wake him up." Something in his tone didn't sit right. It wasn't panic. It was rehearsed, like he'd already decided what to say before I even arrived. You should call the police," I said, my voice sounding distant, even to me. "Yeah," he replied, nodding. "Yeah, of course. My phone's in my car. I parked a little back. Can you stay here with him? Just don't leave him alone." I hesitated. Every part of me wanted to go back to my car, lock the doors and disappear, but I nodded anyway. "Okay." He stood up slowly. For a second, we were face to face. He was taller than me, thin, with a strange stiffness in his posture. Then he turned and started walking into the darkness behind him, away from the headlights. I was alone, just me and the body. I tried not to look at it, but my eyes kept drifting down. The man's face was partially visible now, turned slightly to the side. His eyes were open, empty. There was something wrong with his throat, something torn. The forest around me felt closer, like it had crept in while I wasn't paying attention. I couldn't hear insects. No wind. Nothing. Then I realized something. I couldn't hear footsteps anymore. The other man should have been walking back by now. Even if his car was a little distance away, I should have heard something. Branches, gravel, anything. But there was nothing. I turned slowly, scanning the darkness beyond the reach of my headlights. "Hey," I called out. "You okay?" No answer. My chest tightened. That feeling, the one I should have listened to earlier, came rushing back, stronger now. Then I saw him. He wasn't coming from the direction he'd left. He was emerging from the trees to my right, walking toward me, and in his hand was something long and narrow. As he stepped closer, the light caught it. A knife, not a kitchen knife, something older looking. A dagger, maybe. The blade was dark, but I could see wet streaks along it. My body reacted before my mind caught up. I backed away. "What are you doing?" I said, but my voice broke halfway through. He didn't answer. He just kept walking toward me, slow and steady, his head slightly tilted like he was studying me. That's when it clicked. There was no other car, there was no phone, and the blood on his hands, it wasn't from trying to help. I turned and ran. I don't remember my feet hitting the ground, just the sound of my own breathing and the sudden, overwhelming need to get inside the car. I yanked the door open, nearly tripping as I got in, and slammed it shut. The lock clicked, just as he reached me. The first udar against the window made me flinch so hard I hit my head on the steering wheel. He didn't shout, didn't scream, just started striking the glass with the knife, quick, controlled movements. The blade scraped and thudded against the window, leaving streaks behind. I fumbled with the keys, my hands shaking so badly I dropped them once before jamming them into the ignition. The engine roared to life. He hit the window again, harder this time. I thought it would shatter. I was sure of it. But it didn't. I slammed my foot on the gas. The car lurched forward, tires screeching as I sped down the road, leaving him behind. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I drove until the trees thinned and the first signs of civilization appeared. Dim porch lights, a gas station, anything that meant I wasn't alone anymore. I went to the police, told them everything. They searched the road the next day. They found nothing. No body, no blood, no sign that anyone had been there at all. Just an empty stretch of asphalt cutting through silent trees. I don't drive through forests anymore, not at night, not even as a shortcut. Because sometimes, when I close my eyes, I still see him stepping out of the trees, and I can't shake the feeling that he let me go. I didn't realize how quiet the night had become until I stopped hearing my own footsteps. At first, I thought it was just the snow softening everything, the way it does, like the world is being buried alive under something gentle. But then I noticed the wind had died too. No trees creaking, no distant highway hum, nothing. Just this suffocating stillness pressing in from every side. That's when I knew something was wrong. My name is Lila Harper. I was 22 that winter, living alone in a small town in upstate New York. I'd moved there 6 months earlier after my mother died. Cancer, fast and unforgiving, the kind that doesn't give you time to prepare. One day she was complaining about headaches, and 3 months later I was signing paperwork I didn't understand. I left the city because everything there reminded me of her. The apartment, the hospital, the smell of antiseptic. I thought somewhere quieter might help. Somewhere empty. I didn't realize how empty it could actually be. That night, I had been driving back from my shift at a diner just off Route 28. It was a straight road most of the way home, something I'd done dozens of times. I remember checking the clock. It was a little past 1:30 a.m. Snow had started falling again, light but steady. Then I missed the turn. I didn't notice at first. The roads all look the same out there once you're off the main highway, long stretches of blacktop cutting through woods that all blur together at night. I kept driving for maybe 10 minutes before it hit me that I hadn't passed the old gas station I usually used as a marker. I slowed down, turned around. That's when my phone lost signal. It wasn't sudden, it flickered. One bar, then none, then one again. I tried pulling up the map, but it wouldn't load. Just a blank grid and a spinning icon. I told myself it was fine. I just retraced my steps, except I couldn't. Every road I took seemed to loop into another. The same narrow lanes, the same trees leaning too close to the road like they were listening. I drove slower, scanning for anything familiar, but nothing looked right anymore. After a while, I stopped the car. I don't know why. Maybe because the gas needle had dropped lower than I expected. Maybe because the silence outside had started to feel wrong. I stepped out. The cold hit me immediately, sharp enough to steal my breath. Snow crunched under my boots, loud in a way that made me feel exposed. My headlights cut through the falling snow, but beyond that, everything was just darkness. I called out. I don't even know who I thought would answer. Hello? The sound didn't carry. It felt like the trees swallowed it. That's when I heard something behind me. Not loud. Just a shift, like someone stepping on snow, careful but not careful enough. I turned quickly, heart pounding so hard it made me dizzy. Nothing, just trees. Endless rows of them stretching into blackness. I laughed, a weak, shaky sound that didn't feel like it came from me. You're just tired, I whispered. You're just tired. I got back into the car and locked the doors. I drove again, faster this time, like I could outrun whatever feeling had settled into my chest. But the roads didn't change. If anything, they got narrower. The trees pressed closer. Then my headlights caught something ahead. A shape, standing in the middle of the road. I slammed the brakes so hard the car skidded. My chest hit the steering wheel, knocking the air out of me. The shape didn't move. It was too dark to make out clearly, but it looked wrong. Too still, too thin, like a person stretched taller than they should be. I didn't get out this time. I didn't even think about it. I reversed the car, hands shaking so badly I could barely steer. I kept my eyes on it the whole time, terrified it would suddenly move. It didn't. It just stood there, watching. I drove until the gas light came on. After that, I didn't have much choice. I pulled over again, this time on a stretch of road that looked no different from any of the others. I turned off the engine, and everything went completely silent. No wind, no distant noise. Not even the faint ticking of the cooling engine seemed loud enough. I sat there for a long time. Then I heard it again. Closer this time, a footstep. Then another. Slow, deliberate. Circling the car. I couldn't see anything outside. The windows had started to fog from my breathing, and I was too afraid to wipe them clear. I felt like if I saw it properly, something worse would happen. The footsteps stopped right beside my door. I held my breath. There was a soft sound then. Not knocking. Not quite. More like fingers dragging lightly across the glass. I squeezed my eyes shut. "Please," I whispered, though I didn't know what I was begging for. The sound moved to the back of the car, then to the other side, always just out of sight. It went on for what felt like hours. At some point, I started thinking about my mother, about the last time I saw her in the hospital. The way her hand felt in mine, light, almost hollow. The way she tried to smile even when she couldn't keep her eyes open. I remembered promising her I'd be okay. Sitting there in that car, lost in the middle of nowhere, I realized I had no idea how to keep that promise. The grief hit me all at once. Heavy and suffocating. I started crying, quiet at first, then harder until I couldn't breathe properly. And through it all, those footsteps kept moving. Patient, waiting. Eventually they stopped. Just stopped. I don't know how long I sat there after that. The cold crept in slowly once the engine had been off too long. My hands went numb. My breath came out in thin, shallow clouds. At some point, I must have passed out. When I woke up, it was morning. The car was still. The snow had stopped, and I was parked less than half a mile from my house. I recognized the road immediately. There were no footprints around the car, no marks, no signs anything had been there. Just smooth, untouched snow stretching in every direction. I never found out how I got back, and I don't drive at night anymore, because sometimes when the house is too quiet, I still hear it. That soft, careful step, circling. I used to think the hardest part of working nights was the loneliness. I was wrong. Loneliness is simple, predictable. What I found instead was something that doesn't go away when morning comes. My name is Daniel Reeves. I'm 38, a widower, and for the past 4 years I worked as a night custodian at a small municipal records building in western Pennsylvania. It's the kind of place most people never notice. No visitors after 5, no front desk, just endless rows of old paper files and a security system that beeps if a door opens. I took the job after my wife, Claire, died. Cancer. Fast and unforgiving. The kind that makes everything feel like it's slipping out of your hands while the rest of the world keeps moving like nothing happened. Working nights felt right, or at least I convinced myself it did. No small talk, no sympathetic glances, just the hum of fluorescent lights and the echo of my own footsteps. It matched how I felt, like I was already half gone. The building sat at the edge of town, surrounded by dead grass and a chain-link fence. Behind it was nothing but a thin stretch of woods. At night, it felt completely cut off from everything. No passing cars, no distant noise, just silence. The first time something felt off was in late November. I remember because the heating system hadn't been properly turned on yet, and the air inside had that stale, biting cold. I was mopping the third-floor hallway when I heard a door close somewhere behind me. It wasn't loud, just a quiet, deliberate click. I froze, the mop dripping onto the floor as I listened. The building was supposed to be empty. I'd locked the front door myself. The alarm downstairs hadn't made a sound. "Hello?" I called. My voice sounded weak, swallowed by the space around me. Nothing answered. I told myself it was just the building settling. Old hinges, shifting air pressure. Places like that make noise. That's what people always say. But the feeling didn't fade. It settled deep in my chest, slow and heavy. I checked every room on that floor. Locked. Empty. I went back to work. But after that night, the silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt occupied. About a week later, I started hearing footsteps. They only came when I stopped moving. I'd pause in a hallway, leaning on my mop, and there they were. Soft, steady steps, somewhere just out of sight. They didn't echo like mine. They sounded heavier, slower, and whenever I turned toward the sound, they stopped instantly. Every single time. I tried to explain it away. Pipes, the heating system, maybe someone sneaking in somehow, but there were no signs of forced entry. The locks were always secure. The alarm never went off, and I knew what footsteps sounded like. These were footsteps. One night, I decided to test it. I stood in the middle of the second floor and stayed completely still. I turned off my flashlight, even held my breath. For a long time, nothing happened. Then, step, a pause, step, closer. I felt it before I fully heard it. That sudden drop in your stomach, like missing a step in the dark. Step. I flicked on the flashlight. Nothing. The hallway stretched out empty in both directions, closed doors, flickering lights, but the air felt wrong, thick, like something had been there and slipped away the second I looked. After that, sleep didn't come easy. Grief plays tricks on you. That's what I kept telling myself. Sometimes I'd wake up thinking I heard Claire calling me. Sometimes I could swear I smelled her shampoo, that faint lavender scent she always used. But this was different. This didn't feel like memory. This felt like something else. The worst night came in January. It was brutally cold, the kind that seeps into your bones. The heating had been fixed, but parts of the building were still uneven. Some rooms warm, others freezing. I was finishing up on the first floor when the lights flickered. That wasn't unusual, but this time they didn't steady. They dimmed, brightened, dimmed again. Then went out completely. The darkness hit all at once, thick and suffocating. I stood there waiting for the backup lights. They didn't come on. I pulled out my flashlight, my hands already trembling. That's when I heard it, breathing, right behind me, not loud, not exaggerated, just there. Slow, steady, human. I froze. Everything in me said, don't turn around. But I did. The beam of light cut through the darkness. Nothing. No one there. But the breathing didn't stop. It shifted. Now it was to my left. I turned the light. Nothing. Then to my right. Nothing. It moved around me. Slowly. Deliberately. Tears filled my eyes. Not from sadness, but from something deeper. Pure fear. The kind that strips everything else away. Please, I said. I don't even know why. The breathing stopped. Silence returned. And then I heard her voice. Daniel. Soft. Gentle. Exactly how she used to say my name. My chest tightened so sharply I thought I might collapse. Claire? I whispered. No reply. Just silence again. But something had changed. The air felt colder, sharper, and then at the far end of the hallway, I saw it. A shape. Not fully visible, just darker than the darkness around it. Standing where the corridor met the exit door. It didn't move, but I knew it was looking at me. I don't remember deciding to run. My body just reacted. I sprinted for the front entrance, nearly slipping, fumbling with my keys so badly I dropped them twice. All the while, I could feel it behind me, not chasing, not touching, just following. When I finally got the door open, I didn't look back. I ran straight to my car, locked the doors, and struggled to get the key into the ignition with shaking hands. I sat there for a long time after the engine started, staring at the building. The lights came back on. Everything looked normal, empty. I quit the next day. I told them it was stress, lack of sleep. They didn't question it. But here's the part that never leaves me. The part that makes moving on impossible. Some nights, when I'm lying in bed, I hear footsteps in my house. Soft. Measured. And when I hold my breath trying to listen, they stop too. Like they know I'm paying attention. And sometimes, just before sleep takes me, I hear her voice again. Not crying, not asking for help, just saying my name, like she's right there, like she never left. Or like something learned how to sound exactly like her in the dead of night.